we've got new cards to look at, and I think for this one, I want to start at the bottom of the page. I haven't read any of these yet, but there is another thing. That is not technically a new card that you're seeing on the screen right now. That is Performage Plushfire, a card that is still banned to this day in the TCG, because now we're taking a look at new Performage support. And alongside those new cards that I'm gonna blind react to in a second, there's also been a change to Performage Plushfire, which usually when they change a card, there's a 99.9% chance that that means that the card is gonna come back. But it also means you don't have to go and buy Plushfires now, because there's also a almost 100% guarantee that they will reprint it to get the new printing, the new text out there. So don't worry too much about it. Performage Plushfire now reads, and I actually haven't checked this one out either yet, and I actually don't remember the exact effect. So I need to see. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. If a face-up Performage is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card, then take 500 damage. I think that was the same. Monster effect, you can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Performage monster from your hand or deck, except Plushfire. I'm pretty sure this is the same. I think this is new, right? I think it's the same, but it's once per turn on both effects now. That's good. Right? Like it's the exact same, but now once per turn, which I'm gonna be honest with you, that's probably what it should have been to begin with. That's fine. That's good. Card is now 100% balanced. Like, unironically, I'm not even sure if Performage Plushfire still needed to be banned in his current state. Like, they maybe could have already brought it back and it wouldn't have been a problem. But I still like that that they are putting this on it. That just makes it more balanced and less abusable, and that's just a good thing. If Performage Plushfire comes back in this state, obviously we have to look at the other support, but even as of now, I think that would probably be a playable card at some point. I don't know which deck would use it, but it's certainly, you could imagine this card seeing play if it came off of the ban list now. So that's a very good change, honestly, on this one. Just slightly changing it, not really making it bad, but just like less abusable. That's fine. Okay, and now I'm gonna scroll all the way up because we've got a bunch of new Performages alongside this card text change that I haven't seen yet. So we're starting it off with Performage Fire Dancer, which is a level 4 fire spellcaster pendulum with a scale 6. Pendulum effect, once per turn, you can target a Performage monster you control this turn. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Okay, so the pendulum effect, not super good, but could help you OTK in some scenarios. Monster effect, you can only use the first monster effect of this card name once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can add a Performage monster from your deck. Okay, now we're talking. All right, on normal or special summon, it adds a Performage. That's pretty strong. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field, loses 500 attack. Okay, we've got a little bonus effect here. We've got a little bonus effect here. The real deal is this effect, right? On normal or special, you get to add a Performage from your deck to your hand, which makes this card a very good starter, probably, and also a very good summon off of Plushfire, because Plushfire does not negate the effects of whatever it summons, right? So if you manage to destroy your Plushfire, you could just summon this and get a free search. That's really, really strong. Good card. We have a Water Dancer as well, next to the Fire Dancer, which is also a level 4 spellcaster. This one has a scale of 2. You can only use the first and second pendulum effect once per turn. If you control a Performage, you can special summon this card. Okay, this immediately makes this card a lot better because it's a 1 card beyond the pendulum now. Also, in theory, a 1 card Electromite, which is still banned in the TCG, but you can special. Also, a 1 card rank 4. Like a lot of things, everything. Like 1 card rank 4, 1 card beyond, 1 card Electromite, whatever you want. When a monster declares an attack, you can target an attack position monster, change it to defense position. Okay, also small bonus. You can only use the first monster effect of this card name once per turn. If this card is pendulum summoned, you can add a polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now, did Performages have a thing with fusions yet? I don't think so, right? Like, obviously, Odd Eyes was doing fusion stuff, but I don't think Performage was doing fusion stuff. I'm wondering if they get a fusion monster as well. Well, okay. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can change. You can target an attack position, change. Okay, so this card, I think this is the most relevant effect on this. I'm always trying to do this when I'm reading Pendulum cards. I'm trying to understand because they usually have so many different effects. I'm trying to, in my head, work out which of these are the relevant effects, which maybe that helps processing what's going on. I think this is the most relevant part. The fact that you can add this as an extender is good. This effect could be good if you want to be playing Polymerization in your Performage deck, which I'm not sure you will want to do that, but maybe. Depends on the other cards around it. Usually, Performages have not really been used or played in a way that it would play fusion monsters other than some of the Odd Eyes stuff. But okay. We've got a Wind... Okay. Probably not going to call that Performage Wind the Drainer. So are they giving them like every attribute? Anyways, we've got Wind the Drainer, level 5 Wind Spellcaster Pendulum. Pendulum scale of 4. 4 is particularly awkward. Because you can't summon all those 4s. Once per turn, you can target one Performage Pendulum monster you control to activate one of these effects. Reduce its level by 1. Increase this card's pendulum scale by that monster's. Okay, so it has an effect that lets you adjust its own pendulum scale. That makes sense. But it would only in those cases, because you have to increase the scale, you cannot really use it as a low scale. It's like it would be a lot better if you could like increase or decrease, but okay. Monster effect. You can only use the first monster effect of this card name once per turn. If your opponent controls a monster or a Performage monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, you cannot special summon while this monster is on the field, except Performage monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can reduce its level by 1. Once per turn, you can change the levels of all level 4 Performage monsters you currently control to 5. Okay. So this gives you a lot of different ways to access your extra deck, right? But you are locked into Performages. It's very easy to summon, because either your opponent has a monster or you have a Performage. Or anyone has a Performage. You can summon it. You can just make it. It's a level 5 to begin with. So if you... Most of the Performages are level 4 so far. So if you have level 4 Performages and you want to go into rank 4s, you can just reduce it by 1. And then you can go into a rank 4 Performage, which... What was the rank 4 Performage back in the day? It was like Trapeze Magician or whatever. Or you can leave it as 5 and then make your other Performages level 5, which I don't remember if there was a rank 5 Performage monster. Maybe that's in this wave of support, I would guess, because I don't remember a rank 5 Performage monster. But okay. We have Performage Cup Tricker, which is a level 5 light spellcaster. Pendulum effect, both once per turn. You can target a Performage Exceed you control, attach this card to it as material. Okay, so if you scale it, you pendulum summon, and then you put it under one of your Exceeds. If a card is added to your extra deck, you can add a face-up Performage Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Okay. You can like, I don't know, make Beyond the Pendulum. And then add back one of the materials that you used for it. To pendulum summon it from hand instead. It's okay. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn of these monster effects. If this card is in your hand, you can target an Exceed monster on the field, detach a material from it, and if you do special summon this card, then one Exceed monster on the field loses 600 attack. If this card is detached from an Exceed and sent to the graveyard to activate that monster's effect, you can target 2 Exceeds you control, detach one material from one of them, and attach it to the other. Okay. That's, I want to say the worst card so far, and there is some use cases for it. I think it's funny flavor wise because it's with those cups, right? That's the trick. It's like it's those cups that you stack on top of each other, right? And it's like, I think that's what they're trying to emulate here with your Exceed monsters, right? Because you take one and then put like I don't know. Do you get what I mean? I don't know. In my head, it makes sense. It's just hard to say it. But yeah, okay. We have Enter Mage, Trapeze Force Witch. Oh, Performage Trapeze Witch. Okay, level 7 Dark Spellcaster needs 2 Performages. Your opponent cannot target Performages with card effects. Also, they can't be destroyed by your card effects. Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for an attack while you control another Performage monster. When an attack is declared involving your Performage monster and an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose 600. That card seems incredibly mid, unfortunately, for a fusion. Like that, I will not play a polymerization for in my deck. That feels like it does almost nothing. It doesn't provide anything for you, like on summon, on your own turn, it doesn't do anything. It's just like your opponent can't target your stuff. It's just like, I guess that's solid. But if that's the only thing a card offers, really, not that great. Dodge Imperm? I mean, yeah. How are you getting this far consistently? Like, you're getting Imperm before that, right? That doesn't really make sense. We've got Performage Shadow Maker. Oh, that's a cool artwork. That looks kind of nice. Rank 5. There we go. That's the first rank 5 for them, I think. 3 level 5 monsters. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card and send a Performage monster from your deck to the graveyard. Add a rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. Okay, which Performages can we send to get value from? Trick Clown is the one that I can think of. So that's like a free send for Trick Clown and, I mean, rank up magic. I'm not a fan of rank up magic. You guys know that. Okay. Damage Juggler as well, right? That's a thing, right? That's what does Damage Juggler is like, banish itself to search any Performage, right? So essentially this, you can read this as add a Performage and a rank up magic from your deck to your hand. That's solid, although 3 level 5s is a lot of work. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card, you can detach raw material from this card, special summon a Shadow Maker from your extra deck. Oh, that's cool. Because that's also not once per turn. Because that's the second effect. That's the only effect that's not once per turn. So it's like, it's flavorful because it's the Shadow Maker, right? He's throwing shadows. If you target it, they get more. They basically duplicate if you play more. But the other one that you summon doesn't have material, but you could give it material with the other cards. I'm not sure if you're going to do that. If the last material is detached from this card, you can special summon a Performage from your graveyard. Oh, okay. So you can like, okay, if you can... This is where the cup trigger makes a little bit more sense, because like taking seize material away from your stuff now gives you extra summons from the graveyard. This is a cool card, and it seems pretty good. There's a couple things I don't like about it. First things first, 3 level 5s is a lot of work. The second thing, having to play a rank up magic card, even though rank up magic cards have been used for some like meta relevant strategies. It's been a while though since it's actually been meta relevant. Most of the time it's more like a liability having to play rank up magic spells, because the rank up magic spells usually don't do anything on their own when you draw them, right? Like, it's not great having to play a rank up magic spell. It's more of a downside than an upside, basically, whenever a card interacts with rank up magic spells. But yeah, it's a good card. If this was easier to summon, it'd be pretty concerning. And then we have Performage Trapeze High Magician, rank 5 light spellcaster. This one requires 2 level 5s. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it has material. Your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken instead. You can only apply this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of materials attached to this card. If this card has Performage Trapeze Magician as material against this effect, you can detach a monster from this card. This card can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase this turn. Okay, so you're, I guess, supposed to rank up Trapeze Magician into High Magician, which in reality, if you're playing rank up magics in this deck, you'll probably want to rank up into something a little bit more broken. I don't know if there's a way. I don't know if there's a way to inflict so much damage on yourself that you actually like kill your opponent with burn damage, right? But that'd be the only thing I could think of with this card. Rank up Magical Force. You can only activate a card with this name once per turn. Target a rank 4 spellcaster exceed in your grave, special summon it, but its effects are negated. And if you do, special summon a rank 5 spellcaster from your extra deck by using the first as material. If you do that, attach this card as additional material. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Okay, so if you can put like a Trapeze Magician in your graveyard or any rank 4 spellcaster exceed, like what is that Time Star Magician or something? You can just rank up into any rank 5 spellcaster exceed. That's not bad, but once again, not a starter card at all. But not a bad rank up magic. Yeah. All right, and that's all alongside the Plushfire errata. So I think the extra deck portion here, while I can see their use cases, the extra deck cards are somewhat disappointing. But I do think that most of the main deck stuff is actually quite solid. Specifically, Fire Dancer and Water Dancer, I think, are the best 2 new cards. Alongside, obviously, the biggest boost. The biggest boost to Performages is obviously that Plushfire is probably going to come back, right? Like, we don't even have to talk about it. There's like no... These new cards are cool and all. And Fire and Water Dancer are pretty good cards, but like the fact that they're probably getting Plushfire back is the biggest deal here. Yeah. These cards are cool. The problem is, are we gonna actually play Pendulum? Because like I feel like Pendulum has a lot of really good cards already, and it's still not really seeing play as a pure form anymore. Like you have some Pendulum decks doing okay, like Melodious in the TCG at the moment, but that's mostly just like a solid deck on its own, and then it plays a small part of Pendulum. It's not really a old school Pendulum slob kind of deck, which I'm pretty happy with. That's the way we're playing Pendulum at the moment. But these cards are solid. Especially the level 4 stuff. I don't know if you're... I would think the better way to play these is just keep it level 4 focused, and kind of skip on some of this extra deck stuff, but they are cool still. But yeah, not all too bad, honestly. If you're a Performage fan, I think those are still good news overall. That's interesting stuff going on. You can play Pepe again, right? I mean, I think is there anything still really banned from 2015 Pepe? Not really, right? Yeah. And then we have Awaken the Strongest Ka with Blue Eyes of the Heart. This apparently, I've already seen this on Twitter. I haven't read the effect yet, but apparently this is cool because this is supposed to be the Blue Eyes that Yugi's grandpa had. Not one of those that Kaiba had. This is supposed to be the one that Yugi's grandpa had. Okay. Blue Eyes of the Heart. This card is always treated as a Millennium card. You can only use the first effect with this card's name only once per turn. You can only use the third effect with this card's name once per duel, and only after you activate Millennium Ankh. You can discard this card, add a Millennium Ankh from your deck to your hand. Possession of this card cannot switch. That's funny, because Yugi's grandpa would not give the Blue Eyes to Kaiba. He did not want to get rid of it. That's funny. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster whose level is 8 or higher, and or with 3000 or more attack while this card's in your grave, you can send that monster to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Okay, so this card basically adds Millennium Ankh and then acts as a disruption from the graveyard. Okay, so this is anime support. I don't think it's I don't think this is super good or anything, but it's cool lore wise. Possession of this card, I think most cards say control of this card cannot switch, which means like you can't mind control it. But I think for this card, it's special because it says possession. So I think even if someone were to activate exchange, hypothetically, would you be able to take it? I don't think you could. Like you can't, or Monster Reborn? Yeah, like you can't do anything like that. You can't even, you might not even be able to sell it on cart market. Yeah, no, that's new. I don't remember another card ever saying that. Can Redoer grab it? Oh, that's a good question. Is a card under Time Thief Redoer in your possession? Probably not. I would think yes. There's no precedent, I don't think. Yeah, I can't think of another one, yeah. Like I don't know if an Xyz material counts as a card in your possession. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I mean, it's never gonna happen, but what would happen, right? Like your opponent activates Redoer, they reveal the top card of your deck, and it's this guy, and you didn't know that beforehand, so it was a legal activation. Like, what happens? Do you just put it back? You get a game loss. Okay, who gets the game loss? The Redoer player or the opponent? Because, like, probably send it to the graveyard. That'd be the most likely ruling, if that's what it is. I don't know. It's just a funny thought experiment. It's probably never gonna happen, but it's funny to think about. Double game loss. Yes, yes. The player with Redoer loses the game. So you build a Millennium control deck that summons Redoer, gives it to the opponent with Geonate or Transverser, and then puts this card on top of their own deck with Plague Spreader Zombie. And then just hopes that the opponent activates the Redoer because it's optional. But yeah, it's all hypothetical. I don't know if you can attach it or not, but that's a funny thing to think about. Same thing if you exchange while this is the only card in your hand. Well, in that case, yeah, I also don't know what would happen. I guess exchange would just not resolve properly because you reveal the hand and it's a card that can't be exchanged. I don't know.